in episode 5, Andor and the crew of rebels he's initiated in are setting up the plan to attack and sort of abandon Imperial base. And while doing this, a lot of sort of tension and distrust is sensed towards Andor, as everyone kind of wonders what he's all about, especially one of the crew members, the sort of skinny, shaved head guy, I think. And everyone's just questioning things, including the leader, who they're especially questioning. In between that, we get a little bit of the sort of imperial appearing lady, who's actually, I guess, a rebel working with Lufin, who we saw enter the art supply store. We see that, her family life's a little crappy, like her teenage daughter doesn't like her much, and her husband is kind of a prick. So that's not too great. And then we briefly cut at the end to Lufin talking with his art dealer assistant, who's working with him in terms of rebel stuff. The way I describe it, it's not that you'd think from the way I describe it, it's not that great of an episode, but it's an alright episode. It's just that not a lot happens in terms of really important stuff, but for the smaller things, there's some intrigue. There is some stuff cut in between, like we are brought back to the perspective of the young space cop guy who led the assault against Andor in the first 3 episodes, who's come over to his I think mother's place, though I could be wrong, I just assumed. But she's actually played by I don't remember the actor's name, but she was briefly in one of the Harry Potter movies. I think Deathly Hallows Part 1, where she was talking about some of the stuff Dumbledore did in his early life that Harry didn't know about. But she was good in there. She's talking to him about needing to set his life in a better path now that he's basically been sacked from his Imperial job, at least for now. And then we kind of see a bit of how things are in the inside of this Imperial base that the rebels are about to attack. One of the guys on the inside who's working with the rebels, has, I guess, a fun time sort of being the hardened commander, just commanding his men around, being all tough. It's a little fun. The acting is, of course, really good, and the locales are also great. I'm happy that they don't do a heavy amount of digital backgrounds and stuff like with Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. But overall, I still think this is a very uneventful episode in some ways, and that's just part of the problem of it doesn't work as much as a weekly show like some of the other Disney Plus series. And I really wish Disney Plus would have some variety in how they release their shows. Like maybe have a handful of them that are released all at once, and not just doing the weekly schedule all the time, because at least Netflix would occasionally have some shows that would be weekly, Mostly those are shows that they don't fully own or something like that, but most of the time they do. So I wish they would do that, but hopefully it gets more interesting. It starts to keep moving along as it goes on. Let's just hope that. I'm gonna give episode 5 a 6 out of 10. A little uneventful. I hope you enjoyed this video, even if it was a little uneventful. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Andor content. And I hope you all have a good day. Goodbye.